Hey y'all, what's up? What's good and what's poppington? It's your girl True Mystique, and welcome back to another rendition of the Black Tapes. Now, for those of you who are new here who don't know what it's about, the Black Tapes is simply a collection of my personal views and opinions, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent, really raw, and a really riveting critique of Black culture, especially Black American culture. I'll reference pop culture, non pop culture topics, and just other topics that I feel need to be discussed within the Black community. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the untimely death of 21-year-old entrepreneur and mother Destiny Harrison from Baltimore, Maryland. Now, Destiny's death in particular saddens me as if I knew her. Her death is pretty shocking and pretty gruesome and pretty upsetting for a lot of people I've seen on YouTube and social media. And here's why. Like I said, Destiny Harrison was a 21-year-old budding entrepreneur out of Baltimore, Maryland, and she had her own hair salon. She was a 21-year-old business owner. How many 21-year-olds do you know, and how many youths do you know, period, that have their own businesses, that have their own successful businesses, that have celebrity clientele, that's doing good for themselves, you know? She was a 21-year-old girl that was a light to her community, and it seems as though she did everything right. Everything that we tell our kids that they should do, that they should get into, everything that we would want for our community, to partake in as it pertains to owning businesses. She did everything right. And unfortunately, due to the demons that surround her and the low vibrating people that are a part of her community, it resulted in her unnecessarily losing her life at the young age of 21. Now, it's funny that Destiny, this young lady at 21 years old, it's funny that she did more than people twice her own age, thrice her own age. She had more than people twice her own age had. And now we have one less mother on the street and one less budding entrepreneur in the Black community on the street. And I personally feel that is due to jealousy and envy. You took a mother away from her child, and even worse, killed the mother in front of her child in her place of business. And for what? As a business owner, as a young entrepreneur, she should have had the right to feel protected in her own community. She should have had the right to operate her business without any problems, without any mishaps. She should have had the right to enjoy and see her business thrive. But unfortunately, because of some hating ass ninjas, envious, scandalous ass ninjas, she unfortunately had her light dimmed. And I'm sick and tired of the senseless violence. And I'm sick and tired, and I hate the fact that it seems like whenever you want to do good for people, whenever you want to do good for your hood, it seems like ninjas just don't appreciate nothing. They don't appreciate not a goddamn thing, not even their own life. You can't tell me that a person who killed an innocent person like that, killed a person who's doing well for themselves, you can't tell me that if you were to take somebody's life like that, you appreciate your own goddamn life. Because usually if you take other people's lives in such a manner, in such a heinous manner, you don't have any appreciation or any value for your own goddamn life. And it's sick and it's sad and it disgusts me. And there are too many people with promise, too many people with a future getting their lives cut short by nothing ass ninjas. Nothing. We too busy worried about the wrong shit. We too busy worried about who's to blame for the destruction of the Black community, who's to blame for this, who's to blame for that, instead of actually taking a stand and stop letting these degenerates run the community and run good people out of them. Black people, as unfortunate and as bad as this sounds, But if you want to be successful, you need to leave the hood alone. Because unfortunately, it's like you want to invest in the hood. But as you can see, in Destiny's case, is not the first case that this has happened. Any black person that wants to be successful needs to be as far removed from the hood as possible. Because don't nothing good come out of there besides snakes, envy, jealousy, violence, all of that. Like it even pains me to say that. It really does. But we have to look at the facts. We have to look at the patterns. We cannot sit back and act like this doesn't exist. And until we can come up with a feasible plan as to how we can actually restore the hood, there's no sense in you trying. I don't even know what the best way is to put it, because it sounds bad whatever way you look at it, whatever way you put it. But it's sad that you can't, as a black person, can't even invest in the hood that made you, invest in the hood that raised you. You can't even go back and help your own people. Yes, some people are appreciative, but the low level mentality that a lot of people have, that just toxic energy that a lot of people have because they don't see any value in themselves, it completely negates all the hard work, all of the grind and the hustle that people do in order to get where they get. And it's a damn shame that black people let other races of people come into their damn communities and set up shop, and we are just active consumers of those other people. But when it comes to our own people, we don't want to see each other thrive. There's just this energy of hatred and just jealousy and envy when we see our own people doing good, because it's a reflection of how bad we have it. But my thing is, if y'all both came from the same place and you see one person doing it and one person doing their things, that should be inspiration to you to say, hey, you know, if I see this person doing it, I could do it too. But no, some people wanted the easy way. Some people don't want to bust their ass and work for shit. Some people want a handout. Some people want easy money. Some people want an easy lifestyle without putting under work in it. But like, that's not how it go. Nothing worthwhile is easy. If you want something, you need to bust your ass and go get it. There ain't no cut corners. There ain't no shortcuts. But unfortunately, you know, that's just the life, that how some people live. And until we can get that, and until we can fix that mindset, there's no point. And it's so sad. And this is the reason why we can't come together and we can't thrive. We can't. Just like Dr. Claude Anderson said, there is no black community. There's no sense of unity. We don't come together. We're divided. We like to fight amongst one another. There's no community. There's only hoods. There's only neighborhoods, sectors. No community at all. And best believe that not all skin folk is kin folk. You hear me? I don't think that statement, people really understand the breadth and the depth of that statement. All skin folk ain't kin folk. Just because we got the same skin don't mean that we rooting for each other. I've heard people, and I've heard people's experiences saying that I would think that another black person was there to root me on and there to see me win. But they was low-key jealous and envious and wanted to one-up me. I'm like, what is that about? This whole fucking crabs in the barrel mentality. It's no good. It is no good. This whole crab in the barrel mentality, man, yo, it's killing us. I'm the type of person that I want to see people that I love win. I don't care if you do better than me, because I know and I am rooted in the fact that what is meant for me is meant for me. And you have to understand that what is meant for you is coming to you, but you must also work for it. You can't enjoy something else that's not meant for you. You can't enjoy something that somebody else has. Nah. If you know that and you are secure in that fact, you can't be jealous. There's no need for you to be jealous. But unfortunately, some black people feel that they must one up the next one and they must be the best and they gotta be better than other black people. Like, I can't stand that shit. That shit pisses me off to no end. No end. Be careful of the snakes in the grass and the people that want to plot and scheme instead of uplift you. If you run into people that whenever you have a success, they turn up their nose at it, or you feel like a funny energy whenever you bring their success to other people, then you need to cut them off. Because them people right there, they ain't your friends. They ain't your friends. And they toxic as hell. And you don't need that type of energy around you, period. Now, you know, a certain sector within the Black community, you know how they get down. You know they like to preach a good game and tell Black people what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and like to be on the wrong side of righteousness and whatnot, and like to tell particularly Black women it is their fault, and they're the bane of the existence of the Black community. And these people like to bitch and complain about what is wrong, but they never want to get the hell off their damn ashy asses and actually do something and implement a lot of the shit that they be talking, because they just like to hear themselves talk and talk and talk because it feeds their ego. But they ain't about nothing. And I have not really heard any of these bigwigs, these fools, talking about this situation because it doesn't fit their narrative. As long as it's not a white person killing a Black person or causing harm unto a Black person, you're not gonna hear about it because it's not important to them, because it doesn't fit their narrative. These are the same sorry ass jokers who don't do anything in the community or come up with any viable solutions to try to quell a lot of the ills in society. My thing is this, and I'm not gonna talk about them long because I'd rather not give my energy towards them because that's just an ego boost to them. But I just want to address them. Instead of saying who should be at fault and this is a result of single motherhood and whatnot, those same sorry ass tropes that y'all like to talk about, I want to see some of y'all actually stand the hell up and be about something and be true to your word and actually mentor some of these lost kids. Instead of always complaining about how it's a symptom of single motherhood, which I don't ever hear you guys talking about the fathers that lead these women to be single mothers, but that's a different topic for a different video. If you swear that you are such a man and you are such a king and you are such this pillar in the community, why don't you sit and take the time to plan on how you want to mentor these kids? If you think that you are a positive male role model, why don't you be the positive male role model that these kids need? Since you want to say that these kids are lacking a male role model, you be it. Oh, they can't learn how to be a man from their mamas? You be that male example. Listen, a male role model doesn't necessarily have to be a father. It can be somebody like a father figure. It can be a grandfather. It can be an uncle. It could be a cousin. It could be any positive male person. But if you don't do that, and you don't think that's a good idea, to me, one of two things is true. Either A, you're not a man of your word, or you're not a man, period. If you can't teach another boy how to be a man, even if it's not your own kid, they are still a young man in your community. So why not raise them up right, like that was your own kid? So that means that that's too much of a responsibility for you, so you're not man enough to do it. Or secondly, essentially, you know that there's something wrong with you and you don't have the physical capabilities of a man or the mental capabilities of a man to carry out such a task. Or thirdly, you really don't give a damn about the community. You just want to hear yourself talk, hear yourself speak, and think that you're actually doing something, but you're not really about nothing. And you just really don't give a damn. You only give a damn about yourself and the advancement of yourself. You really don't give a damn about the advancement of the community as a whole. Because let's be honest, a lot of these quote-unquote pro-black people don't give a damn about the advancement of the black community as a whole. They only give a damn about the advancement of themselves while throwing everybody else under the bus and leaving everybody else to drown and abandoning ship and going and latching on other people. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But all tea, all shades. It's a damn shame that y'all would rather literally sit on your ass and bitch and complain and further perpetuate the dysfunction that you say is destroying the community. That doesn't sound like something a man would do. Sounds like, if you ask me, that's kind of feminine. But you know what? That's not the point of this podcast. That situations like Destiny's, because she is not the first and she will not be the last. Situations like hers make people not even want to invest in their own communities. It makes people not interested in building in their own communities, and it forces people to divest and pull away from and move away when they become something and when they become successful. And to be quite honest, as I have alluded to earlier in this podcast, it's a sickness of the mind, and healthy people don't want to be around anything sick, anything toxic, anything that will bring them down. Why should you? I don't blame anybody who wants to build something and don't want to build it in their hood because of whatever toxic ass energy. I don't blame you. You can say whatever the hell you want, and all those things can sound good in theory, but in practicality, like I said, you have to change the collective consciousness before any type of progression can occur. And before you can change the collective consciousness, you would have to change the individual consciousness first. That means worry about yourself first before you worry about a whole. Worry about fixing yourself first. And instead of being pro-black this and pro-black that, be pro getting your shit together first. Worry about building for you and yours first. Creating a legacy for you and yours first. And then, once everybody is pro you and yours first, then we can be pro black or pro whatever the hell. But like I said, that has to start with self. Like, don't be trying to help somebody else, and don't be worrying about uplifting other people if you can't even uplift yourself out the hole that you are in. Like, that don't make no damn sense. Black people always love to help everybody else besides themselves, and then wonder why there's nothing in their life to show for it. It just don't make sense. It is just, amongst a lot of things, ass backwards. But what comes with the sickness of the mind and byproducts of sickness of the mind include envy, poverty, and lack of limitation. Those are all byproducts of a sickness of the mind that unfortunately plagues black people. And of course, you have some of the black people that when they see you wanting to do better for yourself and they ain't got nothing going on for them, they like to shame you for wanting more. They like to shame you for wanting protection and needing protection. Like there's something wrong with you. They like to use words like bougie and you uppity and you high-sedity, you high maintenance. I have never, and I'm being real with y'all, I have never ever heard anybody in the black community refer to anybody else in any other community as high maintenance, high-sedity, uppity. I rarely ever, if ever, hear that. We only use those type of terms to other black people who think that they're better or who want better for themselves. And like I said, seeing instances like Destiny and instances like Nipsey Hussle, shit, you have to be. I don't blame black people for wanting to feel like they're better than their current situation. I don't blame black people not one bit. Whatever helps you rise above the trenches, shit, I'm for it. Okay? Because we can't keep plaguing ourselves with these low-level type of thoughts and low-level type of mentalities, because that's not getting us anywhere. And anybody who doesn't want to better themselves at this point in 2020 needs to get left behind. Anybody who exhibits toxic behavior to other people, period, needs to get left behind in 2020. Leave that shit in the past or get left behind. People just want to say that Destiny was killed over some bundles because they stole thousands of dollars of bundles from her. It's not about the bundle. It's deeper than the bundle. It's deeper than that, because they were hateful and they were envious and they were jealous towards this girl because they saw this girl who was once like them come up and come up legitimately at such a young age. And they was mad that they couldn't do it too. but they wasn't on the level that she was on. So they saw her as a threat that needed to be taken out. And unfortunately, that type of message lets Black people know subconsciously that if you want to rise above and you want to stay here and rise above, it's not accepted. It's not appreciated. You will be taken out. You will be dealt with. We can't have that. And unfortunately, this is the mentality that is being programmed into our kids, and it makes them not want to thrive. It makes them not want to grow. It makes them not want to be something. And I think it puts a little bit of fear in people because, like, shit, well, if I try to do good, and I try to make it, they're gonna come after me. Look at how they did Nip. Nipsey Hussle was true to his community. Nipsey Hussle was a Slauson boy, literally to the day he died. Was for the community, literally to the day he died. He got his millions. He got his money. He had his businesses. And look what happened. He came back and he gave back to the community, and look what happened. Same thing happened to a sneaker store owner in Queens. This happened a couple of years ago. He was a popular sneaker store owner, and they killed him in his store. Who kills the damn sneaker plug? Like, really? Like, how low level must you be to even kill a sneaker plug, my nigga? How low vibrational must you be to kill a sneaker plug? A sneaker plug. Everybody loves sneaker plug. You gonna kill a sneaker plug? Really? And in Queens, there's a popular restaurant in South Queens called Rockaway Fish House. This man would give the clothes off of his back to you if you needed it. He gave food to people who were hungry when they needed it. And unfortunately, some low vibrational being took that man's life for no reason. And it was during the holiday season that day. I don't remember if it was during Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think it was around Christmas time. Took his life. He ain't had to do that. This man was so good to people and was so good to the people in the hood. And unfortunately, people just didn't appreciate it. To me, the only reason is jealousy. It's envy. You were mad that they made a way. Like to me, I don't know. Like this is just so sad just even talking about it. But people, my people, if you want to build businesses and you want to build, period, and you want to give back, there's nothing wrong with giving back. But I feel like people should just help from a distance. Don't be directly in the vicinity when you are helping. You can do good things by helping from a distance. Look at LeBron James. Look at how he built the school for them kids. Did he have to live in his old neighborhood? No. But he was still able to make a change from a distance, and that's a damn shame. Like, that is do you know how sad that shit is that you can't even help your own community in the way that you want to, but you have to help from a distance? That's sad. And for people who talk about, oh, we need to build businesses, we need to create jobs, we have people that do that. And look what happened. Look what happened. Jealousy, envy, rage. You try. You can't say people don't try. People do really, really legitimately try it. Look, it's sad, man. It's sad. We should do better, but unfortunately, the problem is people don't know how. That's just what it is. People just don't know how to do better. And speaking of wanting to do better and needing to do better, we need to do better with this mass outrage, okay? Why is it that when one of us kill our own people, there isn't the mass level of outrage that there is when a white person kills a black person? I know y'all gonna get mad at me and want to cancel me for this shit, but it's true. We can't sit here and act like it don't happen. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't outrage. I'm saying that the outrage isn't as loud as it is when a black person kill another black person than it is when a white person kill a black person. Before y'all hit me with the whole, oh, but true, it's a proximity crime. crime is intraracial. I know that shit. Don't tell me that shit. I know that shit. You want to know why I know that shit? I graduated with a degree in criminal justice with honors. So I know very well proximity crime, crime is intraracial, socioeconomic status. I know all of that, okay? So y'all can just straight up miss me with that, because y'all also fail to realize, even within proximity crime, because the vast majority of American neighborhoods are still segregated by race and ethnicity. Again, I know. Even within proximity crime, okay? And crimes against property especially are still grossly disproportionately higher in the Black community. And one thing that, again, if we want to be better, we have to stop doing, we have to stop blaming white supremacy for everything. Oh shit, I done said it now. Y'all gonna want to cancel me indefinitely. I know. Like, what the hell is up with Black people's infatuation with white people when it comes to Black issues? Whenever we talk about Black issues and whenever we talk about ills within the Black community, y'all always love throw in, oh, well, white people do it too. White people do it too. Oh, there was a murder that happened the other day. You know white people kill each other all the time too. It's like, I don't get it. Like, for some people who swear to God that they hate white people, y'all love bringing up white people whenever it is convenient for you, whenever we are talking about Black issues, whenever you want to deflect from the truth. You like to say that, oh, you're making white talking points. Oh, you're making Republican and conservative talking points. Okay. It's not white talking points. It's not conservative or Republican talking points. It's the bloody truth. Just because, you know, it hurts, just because it stings, just because it's not something that you really want to acknowledge, don't make it any less true. Like I always say, the truth isn't always what you want to hear, and what you want to hear isn't always the truth. We need to stop putting a mask on shit. We need to stop ignoring shit that is true and that is harming our communities just for the sake of saving face, just for the sake of protecting egos and protecting feelings, because that is not working. That has never helped us, and it's not going to. Now we need to stop being so over emotional and stop being so overreactive and facing the fact. And the fact of the matter is, these issues are going on within the Black community. I don't give a fuck about white people like that. When they're talking about Black issues, I don't care. I don't care nothing about that. Let them handle their own issues. And best believe they handle their own issues. We're not talking about them right now. It's not about them right now. Let them deal with it and let us deal with our own issues. That's our problem. That is our problem. We like to place blame. Yes, they did create the situations and the environments that we are currently living in. I am not ignorant. One thing that I am not is I am not ignorant. I'm very well aware of that. And I'm also very well outraged by it. So don't sit here and act like I'm not outraged by this and I want to be white and I want to go do something about white city. I don't give a shit about that. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing. But I'm a person that likes to hold myself responsible and accountability. I believe in accountability. And it seems like the Black community likes to shirk responsibility like it's the goddamn IRS. And it's the truth. It's truth. And we don't like to hear the truth. And that's the problem. We gotta stop. We give damn white people too much damn credit. Yes, they created the environments that we are currently living in. But to be quite honest, how we move and how we maneuver through these environments is a choice. And by you always blaming white people for this and white people for that and white people for this, do you know what you are doing by doing that? You are admitting powerlessness. You're not speaking life into your own life. You're admitting powerlessness, and you are admitting to yourself subconsciously that you don't have control over your life, that your life is controlled by an external force. You're giving them the power. Subconsciously, that's what you're doing. And we don't realize it. Like I said, one thing that the Black community is heavily lacking in is accountability. And it's not just Black men, and it's not just Black women. The Black community as a whole fails in holding people who do us wrong accountable. We don't like to hold people who harm us, we don't like to hold our own accountable. We don't. And this is why a lot of these things occur. This is why violence occurs in the way it does. This is why young black kids, especially young black girls, get sexually assaulted, and 60% of young black girls get sexually assaulted by the age of 18, because we don't like to hold predators accountable. This is why degenerates can run the streets in the way they do and kill people with a promising future, because we don't hold them accountable. So you can just miss me with all that white supremacy bullshit. You can miss me with all the, but what about white people? Miss me with that shit. Stop deflecting from real issues and take a stand for real issues, for issues that directly affect you. When white people kill each other, how does that affect you? When white people steal from each other, how does that affect you? It doesn't. Miss me with it. Miss me with it. I am tired of the excuses. I am tired of the lack of responsibility and accountability. I'm tired. But that's another symptom, and that's another ailment of the sickness of that is of the mind. It's multifaceted. It's complex. If you're not sick in the mind in one way, you're sick in the mind in another. Black people don't want to look. We don't want to look at ourselves in the mirror, because when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we have to come face to face with the fact that we are responsible for the lives that we lead. We're responsible. We are to blame. And once you realize that you are responsible for your own life, despite whatever obstacles, despite whatever downfalls, despite whatever, you realize that there's power there. It's power. Take your power back. Take your power back. There is power in self-accountability, power in responsibility. Take it back. Stop complaining. Stop bitching and complaining and moaning and, we can't get ahead. We can't get ahead. Take your damn power. And you do that through self. Work on yourself. And that's how you take your power back. Just because you are in a particular environment doesn't mean that you have to perpetuate the ills of said environment. If a lot of people can move beyond their situations, why can't you? Why can't you? Why? It all comes down to choices, and life is a culmination of the choices that we make. Don't forget that. And it's unfortunate that destiny seemingly made the right choices in life. She did everything right. She did everything that she was supposed to do. She did things that people thought that she couldn't do. And unfortunately, as a result of being in a sick environment, her precious life was taken away by somebody that did not realize the value of their own. And like I've been saying throughout this entire podcast, it's a damn shame when you want to help people and you do help people, but it's like your help is in vain. It's like you want to help and you do help people, but you get no appreciation and people don't appreciate it. And then we wonder why we can't move forward. We can't get ahead. We can't get nowhere. And we keep saying, we need to do better. We need to do better. We need to do better. But won't. Rest in peace, Destiny Harrison. It really is a shame. And it really is a shame that your life had to be cut so tragically short because of toxicity. You wanted to do better. You saw that there was more to life than what life had originally given you. And you wanted more. You had a vision and you went for it. And you were doing so damn good for yourself. And there was so many people that were proud of you. And unfortunately, because people that were supposed to be there for you didn't see the same vision that you had, it's unfortunate that it ended like this. And my condolences to Destiny's family and loved ones. Because no mother, no grandmother should have to bury their child or their grandchild. It's sad. And I don't even know where we should even go after this. Like, what do we do? What do we do? Like I said, it's a sickness of the mind. And until we can change collective consciousness by changing individual consciousness, there can be no progression. Now, I still believe in building wealth and building a legacy for you and yours, but do it in a way that makes you thrive, but also do it in a way that you are safe. Just be safe out here. And it's unfortunate that you want to do. It's really unfortunate, and it's really sad, because you should want to. You should want to do in your own community. You should want to. But unfortunately, man, sometimes it really do be your own damn people. It be your own goddamn people that be your worst enemy. Well, that's the end of my podcast. That's the end of my rants. I've been wanting to get this out for a little bit, because these are just things that I've been feeling, and I think that people really need to hear, and people really need to hear the real. And if you're one of the realest ones to listen to the end of the podcast, I thank you guys so much for listening. Please be sure to give my podcast, Black Tapes, a like. Be sure to comment. Be sure to show love. And also show love to Destiny in the comments, because, man, there's some real shit, and we need to find a real solution, man. We got to. We have to. We just have to. It's your girl, True Mystique, a.k.a. the Golden Enigma, a.k.a. The Real. And I'm going to see you guys next time on the Black Tapes. Peace.